And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Thunderfire All-Star Invitational 2025 day number 1. We just wrapped up with a fun show match between Innovation and Su, but now we have the big dogs. Now we have the main event. Now we have the best players in the world facing up against each other. We have players like Rainer, Solar, Clem, Maru, herO, Classic, and as you can see here, Serral. Let's go. Let's go, buddy. Let's go. Again, for those that are just tuning in for the first time, this is, of course, a big celebration event for the return of the Chinese server. It's a big offline event happening in China. And what a first round match. This is wild, by the way. Like, the seeding here is crazy. We have the best Protoss in the world, herO, going up against the best Zerg in the world in the first round. That is crazy. Who seeded this bracket? Who seeded that bracket? Oh, no. That's the first. It's a first round match.
两位选手呢，我们也是上前一步进行一个简单的采访，也是有请我们的翻译工作人员来到我们的舞台上。那也是同一个问题，想问一下两位选手，对于这个版本虫族跟神族的优劣有什么自己的看法吗
？So on this match, in the ZvP matchup, what advantages does Zerg have in your opinion?
I think Zerg has some advantages in the mid game, especially when the eco gets good, we get to tier 3. That's when Zerg's the best, I think. But besides that, I think the advantages are on process favor.
Ah. I think everyone's laughing at just Serral being cheeky after he said that.
So Serral 觉得虫族在中期是有优势的啊，当然在前期和后期，他觉得神族是有点优势。
那我们想问一下，这个神族选手 herO 是怎么认为的呢？
이번 메타에서 혹시 프로토스 대 저그전 어떻게?
Once again, if anyone knows Chinese or Korean in the chat, we would appreciate some translations.
사람이 이긴다고 생각합니다.
我觉得这个版本就是实力够强就可以赢。
没有最强的种族，只有最强的选手。那我们想问一下 Serral， 其实你是目前 ZvP 最强的一个选手，那小herO他恰好是一个 PVZ 非常强的选手。你觉得今天的对决你有信心吗
So Serral, everyone knows that you are the best player in ZvP matchup, and also herO is quite good in PVZ. Do you have the confidence in this match?
I have a lot of confidence against herO, of course, but at the same time, I think he's one of the more dangerous players, and I have very close matches with him, so it's gonna be scary, but my confidence is high.
I think I'd agree.
对herO 我是很有信心的，不过herO
I just mentioned that herO is, I would say, the best Protoss player in the world right now. So
非常接近的对局啊。然后今天我是觉得
he is one of the bigger threats to Serral.
那我也想问一下 herO， 因为查了一下去年你跟 Serral 的一个交手。
Serral doesn't have many threats, is what I will say.
多赢了你几场，今天有没有信心在中国杭州的舞台上复仇 Serral？
작년 대전 봤을 때 그 세라 선수랑 상대 성적이 무승부 3번, 한 경기는 졌는데 올해 첫 경기로서 어떻게 생각하세요?
일단은 지난 경기들보다 이번에 세랄 선수에 대해서 좀 더 공부를 많이 했다고 생각하고 좀 더 해볼 만하지 않나 싶습니다.
之前的比赛的话，我也有研究过塞尔选手，所以今天的比赛我觉得还是有信心。
哇，已经准备充分了，那感觉两边选手对于这场比赛都是势在必得。那接下来就把画面交给我们最专业的解说席。
Take it away, baby. Take it away. But thank you so much in the chat, in the YouTube chat, for the donation, for the tip. Love to SC2, please, new game SC3. Thank you so much for the donation. I hope you enjoy the broadcast. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft that we have ahead of us here as we get ready for the beginning of the main event. Once again, we just wrapped up with Innovation versus Su, but that was more of a fun show match. Now it is time for the main event itself. We have Serral, the best Zerg player in the world, and we have herO, the best Protoss, facing off in the quarterfinals. When it comes to the when it comes to the actual bracket itself, I don't think they showed it on graphic, which is kind of weird. I would expect them to. So very quickly I might be able to show it off here. Bam, there we go. Okay, so again, exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the back yourselves. The bracket is here before you as, oh, never mind. We're showing it off. We have the players. Here are the players: Serral, herO, Cure, Solar, Classic, Clem, Raynor, and Maru. They should be showing the bracket here soon. I would hope so. But we have a top 8. We have a round of 8 single elimination bracket. That's the other brutal thing here. Single lim. Right, single elimination, not double elimination, so one shot is all you have. Potentially, we're only going to be seeing herO or Serral for a single series here tonight. Meanwhile, we do have the prize pool breakdown. Again, I believe it is 21,000. Sorry, 50K, 50,000 USD as the prize pool for this tournament. And here we have the breakdown for first place, second, third, fourth, and of course 5th to 8th. All players will be walking away with some prize money, and there it is. There is the bracket. Let's zoom in a little bit here and have a look at the bracket ourselves. So we have Serral versus herO in the first round in the quarterfinals, followed by Cure versus Solar, Classic versus Clem, Raynor versus Maru. Who seeded this bracket? Like, a couple of things. Serral and herO, that is a brutal first round match. Classic and Clem is also brutal. I would say that Classic has the best PV Clem in the world. Like, I would say that Classic's versus Clem is better than Max and better than herO as well. Like, Classic, I would say that he is one of the biggest threats to Clem in that matchup. I would say that herO is a bigger threat to Serral in PvZ more so than Classic. Like, each player has their own style, they have their own strengths and weaknesses. I would say that herO has stronger PvZ than Classic. I would say that Classic arguably has stronger PvT than herO, for example. So to face off against Clem in the first round, that is brutal. I can see a world where Clem goes down in the first round, which is a shame because, I mean, depending on the seeding, I could have seen Clem winning the entire tournament. But we'll get there. And then we have Raynor versus Maru, which is going to be a rematch to the I'm gonna set it SEL to RSL. If you remember RSL last month in December, we did feature Raynor versus Maru, and Maru did defeat Raynor in that tournament. Oh. Wait, did he? RSL offline events. Let's see. Offline finals. I remember Raynor, he played against Maru. No, sorry. Raynor beat Maru. True. Raynor did defeat Maru in RSL 4-2 in a best of 7. 4-2. Oh. So that is going to be an RSL rematch. True. But again, I feel like it's also a really brutal first round match. I mean, I say brutal first round match, but I mean, that's just the caliber of players that we have. I would say that Cure versus Soul is maybe the lowest profile match. And I personally, if I had control of the seeding of this tournament, I would have split off Cure and Solar to face off against some of the other players instead in the first round. So it's an interesting kind of setup that they've concocted. How many ace matches do we predict in the tournament, like out of the show matches? Out of the show matches specifically, or this? Because this is not a show match. Like, this is the main bracket, right? This is the main event. If you're referring to like SOS and Scarlet and Oliveira and DIG, like, it's hard to say. This? Oh, you mean the main event, the main tournament? It's. I don't know if I'm the best judge of character at the moment, because I mean, you would know that here on the CranKy Ducklings we've been MIA for the past week, and a lot happens in a week, right? There's just so many tournaments and so much StarCraft. So I don't know if I can with confidence kind of like say who's in form. I would say if this was 2 weeks ago, I don't know if there would be many ace matches, to be honest. But yeah, like I think my opinion, my perspective would have shifted if we were active this past week. We'll see. I mean, ideally we get a lot of ace matches for sure. Ideally. It comes down to how the meta has shifted, especially this week. Like, especially because I would say the meta and the map pool is still relatively new and fresh, and players have been adjusting, especially in PBT, for example, but even in these other matchups as well. So that's also why I'm bringing up the fact that I haven't been casting much StarCraft this week, just because I would say that like certain styles would have changed, certain approaches as well. We'll get into it, into PBT. I mean, you know, you wouldn't have seen much Serral last week, but we would have seen a lot of herO, right? This is why coming into like big major events like this, if you cast on a regular basis like we do when it comes to like Pixar Cup, Wardy TV Monday, Sparkling Tuna Cup, you get a really good idea of the form and shape of Clem, Classic, herO as well, Solar and Cure. All those players that I just mentioned, you'd have a really good idea of how they approach matchups, and that's also why it's pretty easy whenever we cast like EWC or something to like call what the meta is, how players are playing, and kind of predicting what builds they go for. I think you would recognize that whenever we do like co-streaming, for example, for those events, just because very often like the other casters don't cast the weeklies and they don't follow StarCraft on a regular basis. You're correct in saying that like Serral, Reina, and Maru are less active, so there's less information about them. But for the others, there's plenty of information, and you can get a good like idea and a good read of how they would approach certain maps and certain games. But now then, we're getting ready. Players are getting ready. Looks like maybe herO has some tech issues. I'm still getting used to Serral's new haircut. I don't know if you noticed, but it does look like Serral got a haircut relatively recently. Maybe I'm crazy. Like he's shorter on the sides. Hopefully it's not too cold. I can see they have their heat packs. Their heat packs, man. I'm loving the stadium. I'm loving the arena. Like they've got the LED floors. It's very. I mean, I would argue that like this arena, this stage is better than EWC for StarCraft, 100%. Like this is a little more custom, a lot of work has been put into this. This is not, obviously this still pales in comparison to the BlizzCon like 100 projector stage that they had for sure, but this might be a close second, to be honest. Like the floor adds a lot to the atmosphere. The floor, the entrances, it's pretty sick. Yo, we got the Vetoes. Serral, Vetoes, Tato Citadel, and Celestial Enclave. Those are two of the larger maps. Oh, I missed the other Vetoes. Let's go. %, it is better. Yeah, it is better than the EWC stage, which is a shame, but I mean, it's sick for what we have here. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the Finnish Zerg player for Basilisk. It is Serral.
Serral.
And spawning in the bottom right hand corner. Hopefully we don't get a pause. We do have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss for T1. It looks like there was an issue. It's herO. As we're gonna have to redo those intros. But it looks like there was a bit of an issue. Yo, Serral up 1-0. Sorry. But it's all good. Again, it takes time to, you know, get your settings going, and especially considering that this is the Chinese client and the Chinese server, you know, sometimes there's an issue with the hotkeys transferring. So just making sure that the hotkeys are set up, making sure that the settings are correct, the refresh rates, DPI, mouse sensitivity, all that good stuff. Trophy looks cool. Yeah, it's a sick trophy. Sick trophy. Also, for those that are tuning in for the first time, this is a two-day event. 2-day events. We have day 1 here on Saturday. We have day 2 on Sunday. So 2 days of StarCraft. It's going to be a long event as well, lasting the entirety of the day, most likely. I say entire day, I mean entire afternoon for us here in Australia. It's going to be a very busy week, very, very busy, because we have Thunderfire this afternoon, which we're covering now, and we have the thermal tournament. The thermal 2v2 circuit is later on tonight. So your thermal circuit is tonight, and tomorrow we have Thunderfire into Sparkling Tuna Cup. Very, very busy. Actually, did we reschedule Tuna Cup? We'll have to wait and see. We might have to reschedule. Which wouldn't be too good. I'm also looking after my bunnies, of course, as well. They take a lot of attention, take a lot of care. Basically, every break that we're having, I'm going over to them. Make sure they're okay. Buddy fan, bias on the CranKy Ducklings. True, true. Big fans of Bonnie, the Danish player. Anyone remember? God, Gfinity? Did he win a Gfinity? Was that it? Was like I remember he won one tournament, like one big premier event like that. I think it was a Gfinity. Hold on. How good is my memory? Let's see, Bunny. I'm looking him up on Wikipedia. Bunny, was it Gfinity? Hey, what, y'all? Like, we just know StarCraft. What is it, Korean Terran? No, I'm referring to the Danish Terran. Look at that. Look at that. It looks like we have some downtime. God, just off the dome. Gotta show it off. Look at that. Gfinity, this is 27, sorry, when was this? 2014, Gfinity 2014, bam, a Danish Terran player Bunny. He beat Hyun 4-2 in the finals. Oh my god, he beat Snoot as well. God, how do we remember this? How do we... That was back when I was watching all things StarCraft. 2013, 2014, I was watching everything. But it looks like technical issues have been resolved and we are getting into our series. Hopefully without any issues this time. So here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness, we do have Serral, the Finnish Zerg player for Basilisk.
Serral.
Hey. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of the South Korean Protoss player, we have the red Protoss for T1. It is herO.
herO.
Let's go. Let us go. Welcome one and all to the main event. Here we're in the quarterfinals, the round of 8 of this single elimination bracket here, and it is going to be a best of 5 quarterfinals match. If you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series, on who you believe will make it through into the semis. And again, this is a brutal first round match. We have Serral and we have herO, the best Zerg players, not arguably the best Protoss player in the world. And coming into this, I do have to lean towards Serral here, but a lot of it will come down to the maps of choice. Unfortunately, I didn't quite see the vetoes. I did notice that Serral did veto 2 large maps, Title Citadel and Celestial Enclave, that's it. So Serral, he vetoed some of the larger maps of the map pool, some of the more defensive maps he got rid of, so we expect to see Serral be more aggressive instead, is what we're expecting. So far the openers are standard, Hashcast pool out of Serral, herO opening up gate expand as well. Very quickly here, the map order is going to be Winter Madness into Ruby Rock, White Rabbit, 10,000 feet, and the Old Republic. Okay, interesting setup here. We'll see how our players will approach this. Again, Winter Madness, I would say, is one of the more defensive maps in the map pool. It's a very large map as well. So getting into a longer macro game is going to be the ideal for a player like herO. He is going to want to try to take up, but ooh, interesting placement with the pylon. Shout out for the observer for pointing it out. But yes, that pylon is throwing down behind the mineral line, so there's a higher chance we had something going for a forge. Okay. Very fast forge, very fast +1. Cheeky build out of here. It looks like an early timing, looks like a 2-base all-in. Now, typically this coincides with charge. Usually you go Twilight Council into charge, and charge is lined up with +1 for a +1 charge-based all-in. That is what we're expecting here, but we'll keep an eye on herO. We'll see if he does take another twist and another turn. But this is really unexpected. I do like this on Winter Madness. I did just mention that this map is known for more longer macro games, and this is the map where herO decides to mix things up and spice it up back. Let's go. +1 has begun. Again, we should be seeing a Twilight Council soon. I'll be surprised if this is going to be based, like, if this is going to be without any upgrades, but there it is. Twilight Council is on the way. And again, these upgrades should be lined up. The Overlord is making its way in. The Stalker out of position. Yeah, Stalker is a bit out of position, but the Overlord does not commit in for the scouts. And herO will chase it down. So the scout is going to be denied. Meanwhile, a big shout out to Silly Dobby in the chat. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing for 12 months. 1 year of support as the Overlord gets away. No shot back. No shot. Oh. As things are going to be deflected. There is charge. As we mentioned earlier, again, early forge typically means it is going to be a charge base all in. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this third base should be a fake out, and we should be seeing an influx of gateways. But this is going to hit hard, it's going to hit fast, and Serral has still yet to confirm that something odd is going on. Meanwhile, I see in the YouTube chat, what is the CranKy Ducklings? YouTube chat is dead. Our YouTube chat, or sorry, our YouTube channel is usually where we get a lot of viewership, but usually on VODs. But regardless, the CranKy Ducklings, we've been casting StarCraft on a daily basis for 5+ years at this point. We cast more StarCraft than anyone else out there, more than Wardy, more than Setfast, more than anyone else. But this past week, we have had some time off. Unfortunately, some things have happened IRL, so we have been casting a little bit less over the past week. So I do apologize for that, but otherwise, we're usually casting all the time. So plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft. Do check out the channel. Otherwise, we do have the Robo. We have the Templar Archives on the way, building up into Archon production to help support the army. Oh, nice pick up here from Serral. Nice around. Gets one. Gets two. Yeah, both reps go down. And Serral now realizes something is going on. Roach production has begun. Now, what is Serral seeing here? It's about what he's not seeing. No Oracle, right? Even though Serral didn't get into the main, I mean, now is over what it is, but he recognized there was no Stargate, there was no Oracle. Now he's, of course, confirmed the Robo and the Temple Archives, and herO, he failed to deny the scouts. That's why Serral is making roaches. He knows that something is coming his way, and herO was unable to stop that from happening. So really rough positioning for herO. Has Ingze poke in once again, and no shield battery to defend. No battery. herO, he attempts to move out. Serral is still droning up back at home, which is a little bit greedy. It's a little bit greedy, but herO is also probing. And it's possible that herO, he's recognized that he's missed his timing. He may have missed it. As herO is setting it for an Archon drop, no Zealot weapons yet. And yeah, here he's only harassing. Oof. So any kind of +1 timing that herO was hoping to hit, it's come and gone. At this point, it's come and gone. herO, he understands that Serral has had plenty of time to build up roaches. So herO, he will macro from here. Oh, I say that. Does warp in a wave of Zealots. 6 Zealots warp in. Let's see what herO can get done. Does get on top of one of the queens. But again, plenty of roaches. Serral should be able to hold on. He shouldn't snipe any of the Archons. Nice pick up there by herO. herO does lift, drop it into the main base. And again, herO just trying to harass, just poking in. Gets 4 drone kills. Do we get 5? Not quite. So 4 drones for 6 Zealots. Again, not the best trade for herO. Does get a stray roach. We can see Serral taking up into Roach Hydra. Meanwhile, herO, he's got Storm on the way. And again, I don't really think herO intends... Oh no, he lost an Archon. That should not have happened. Miscontrol out of herO. He will lose an Archon. There's 1 Archon left. herO, he is vulnerable. You can see behind this, herO is yet to expand. No 4th base. I don't think herO intends to expand from here. I think he intends to just double down on 3 bases. So the run into the natural. Nice control here by Serral. It does. Mineral Walk does save the queens. Roach is a race back home to defend, and we're getting a handful of drone kills. Does he get the queen? Up, he does. Queen goes down. Oh, 12 drone. Jesus, I knew it was. I knew workers went down, but not that many. 12 drone kills. Very nice by herO. Okay. It's a nice amount of economic damage. At the same time, herO, he will now expand behind this. I mean, after killing 12 workers, this does give herO more breathing room to actually start to tech up. He's still not quite there yet. He's heavily reliant on Storm to protect his army. It's still a very fragile composition is what I will say. Like this Zealot Archon Storm setup that herO has. He has to buy time to get potentially a second Robo to tech up a little bit further. Now it's being active. Bold move. herO distracting with the main army. Prism into the natural, but queens are in position. So he defends his natural. Roach is a poke in. Oh. And they're getting on top of the High Templar. At least trying to Again, the Storms are decent to zone. And we have more Zealots into the natural. Okay, the Zealots, he's getting in. And Serral's being pulled apart. He's being pulled apart here. More drones are falling. The hatchery's going to go down as well. Serral cannot keep up. GG gets called. And herO, he takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Again, very impressive play there by herO. It was still very close. We saw that Serral, he was taking up. Serral, he had lurkers on the horizon, and if given more time, Serral could defend. But in that moment, in those last couple of moments there, we saw that Serral, he was unable to split off his army. He was hyper fixated on the main forces of herO, and herO did have enough High Templar to zone. He was doing a great job at zoning back the Roaches, zoning back the zoning back the Hydras, keeping Serral busy while those Zealots just tore him apart. They tore him apart, and GG. GG, well played. herO takes lead. Oh, hold on. herO, bam, there we go. herO takes the lead in the series, and now we're getting ready for game number 2. Now, bearing in mind, this is going to be a best of 5 matchup here. And again, it was a really awkward build out of herO. Winding it back, herO, remember, he went Forge first. He went Forge first into a Twilight Council, into an early +1 charge timing, which he missed, right? He missed the timing. He wasn't able to achieve anything with it. He was able to get a couple of worker kills, but where he finally found some damage was with the Archon, with the Zealot, with the first Zealot run by in the natural. The first Zealot run by. It happened when we were picture-in-picture, when we were looking at the POV of Serral, but he lost 12 drones. It was in that moment where he lost 12 workers, where it was like, oh, like herO, he now can expand, he can now get a 4th base, he can now start to be active, and hey, he pulled it off. I was concerned about herO macroing into a longer game just because Serral was getting ready for Lurker Tech, and herO wasn't quite getting ready for like Colossus or Skytoss, but no, he was aggressive enough, and he broke through. So GG. GG, well played. And now we're going to be loading into one of the smaller maps of the map pool, loading into Ruby Rock. Let's go. Let us go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the Finnish Zerg player, the Blue Zerg for Basilisk. It is Serral.
Serral.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss for Team T1. It is herO.
herO.
Let's go. Again, herO does take a lead in the series, but remember, this is a best of 5, and welcome to Ruby Rock. As I mentioned before, much smaller map in the map pool, shorter rushes, spike round. The chances of someone like Serral, for example, being in that same situation and droning up too hard and being too economic focused and too tech heavy is very low, just because you expect to see your opponent be in your face, and also Serral has the opportunity to be aggressive himself. Meanwhile, herO just being as annoying as possible, forcing some inefficient mining in the main base of Serral. Is being annoying. Serral does open up hatch pool gas. And we're expecting something different from herO. We're expecting something aggressive, but I wouldn't really expect to see another Forge burst. I wouldn't expect to see those faster upgrades. We're expecting something different. Now, if you recall in the past, we have seen herO excel against Serral with builds involving Glaive Adepts. So we could see Glaives incorporated in some way. herO has been fond of DT-based openers where he does not follow with Archon drops, where he just commits into Dark Templar. We've seen Stargate openers into multiple Oracles. Meanwhile, does he get the drone? Oh my god! Calm down, herO. Calm down. herO. So he pulls away. And this time is Stargate. So Stargate open out of herO. Important to take note of, just because last game there was no Stargate at all. So far a more standard opener. Except here it did open up with the early Stalker, which is not normal. So the early Stalker is designed to hunt down the Overlord. As you can see, the Overlord is shoot away, and this makes it difficult for Serral to scout. It also makes it look like something more sinister is occurring. As you just mentioned, herO is going for a standard opener, but Serral doesn't know that. As that wall is very vulnerable, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's what the Chinese commentators are discussing. Yeah, they're discussing it here. So typically you do not have the pylon as a part of a wall, so that pylon was misplaced from herO. Like, it was a misplaced pylon. It's a bit of an awkward setup and an awkward wall off, but herO, he's kind of like Frankensteining it all together. Classic herO wall off, which is inefficient, doesn't make sense, but still wins the game anyway. True, true. Este herO. Meanwhile, the Overlord is going to be hunted down, but at least Serral does confirm the Oracle. So where's the Oracle? herO claiming his third. herO is going for his own setup here. So Twilight Council into Forge. This is a little bit earlier here just because the base is not even halfway done. So we'll see if herO does decide to go for charge again. We'll see if he goes into charge or blink. So now herO's poking in. Serral's playing it safe, going for the earlier Roach Warren. Playing it safe. No +1 melee for Serral. And yep, there it is, charge. Again, the reason why we assumed that herO was going to charge is because that was an earlier Twilight Council, an earlier kind of tech setup here than is normal. If it was a little bit later, more indicative of blink. So typically with these early charge builds, the goal for herO is that he's hoping that Serral doesn't play it safe. If Serral skipped his Roach Warren, if he went for an Evo Chamber into +1 melee into Ling Hydra, then Serral could just die. He could just topple over. But even here, Serral drones up too hard. If he doesn't make Roaches in time, then herO can catch him with his pants down. Like, this is not normal. This is not a standard build from herO. Not standard. So Serral has to be as active as possible to spot the move out. So you have a massive gateway explosion. Temple Archives on the way to morph into Archons. Prism is spotted. Serral is at least making Zerglings. Oh! Catching out one of the Archons. Sorry, one of the Oracles. Not bad. Let's catch out an Oracle. Yep, Warping gets spotted. Here come the two Archons. Ooh, and Serral, can he snipe these Archons? Ah, not quite. It doesn't quite get them. The service area is not there. Ooh, Serral going for Pneumatized Carapace. Okay, going for Dropper Lords. Setting up for the German taxi. As herO is still warping in, ensuring he doesn't get supply blocked. We have 3 more pylons on the way. Here comes the Zealots. Here comes the first wave. Ooh, catches the Queens. Yeah, Queens are getting caught out. Nice Figos out of herO getting 3 Queens. Jesus. And 3 Queens, 4 Queens, and 5. Oh my god. 5 Queens go down. That's insane. And he's not done. The Roaches are out of position, and Serral cannot keep up. Yeah, he cannot keep up, not anymore. Remember, there's only 1 Queen left. Archons, they push in. We have more Zealots distracting here at the Northern Fort. And here's just getting so much value out of these Archons. He shuts down the Lings, now gets into the Mineral Line. Oh, the Prism takes a lot of damage, but he gets 8 drones in total. And remember, there's no anti-air because 5 Queens got sniped, and that 1 Zealot is still going ham. Yeah, Serral just getting pulled apart. He's getting torn apart, Pat. I think Serral, he made one extra queen, so he's down to 2. So 2 queens left for Serral. As you can see, Serral, he just lost a bunch of drones. And do you notice something? No drones in the production tab. Serral's all in. Serral, he's lost too much. He knows that he either has to kill herO or die trying. Like, there's no macro. There's no macro, not anymore. He just has to commit. There's a recall back home. Immortals are amassing. Ooh, and these roaches. Yeah, they need more support. That is a large Roach Ravager army. No shield batteries. Yeah, there's no batteries in position. There's 3 Immortals. Files do not quite connect. They graze one of the Immortals, but in the end, herO, he has enough here. He's running out of Zealots, though. He needs that buffer. He needs the buffer, Pat. Oh my god. Yeah, the first Archon does go down. Nice snipe there out of Serral. He's built up to 4 Immortals, but he needs that Zealot Warp in. Nice juggling. Nice juggling from herO. Saves the Immortals, and herO again, he's surviving. He's surviving, he's holding on. +2 is almost done. Blink is on the way. And remember, Serral, he chose not to drone. He's out of 57 workers. Serral, he is miles behind economically. Like, this wasn't all in, and now Serral, he admits quote-unquote defeat. Like, he admits that he can no longer kill herO. He starts droning. He just made 7 drones. Now up to 64. He starts burrow, tunneling claws, desperation out of Serral. He is desperate. I mean, this can still work. This is a bit of a Hail Mary play. Going for burrow. There's no observer with the main army, so I mean, hey, burrow can work. But there's an Oracle. Sorry, there's didn't quite notice, but there's an observer with the army. There's the Oracle as well for Revelation, so even then. So he's over to distract. Burrow's still not done. Nice biles on the Phoenix. So he's walking in. He's going for it. Not quite. He doesn't quite make his way in. You can see the observers with the army on the right hand side. Bar is done in 2 seconds. Serral is yet to reveal. Has yet to reveal his burrow. We're running out of storms. Uh-oh. 1 storm left. Not even. You can see Serral is so close to breaking herO. He's so close. Burrow's revealed. Yeah, Burrow's revealed, but herO, he has detection. He has detection available. And remember, the longer this game goes on, the better it is for herO. And now that the bar has been revealed, we have cannons on the way for detection. Serral trying to come in for the surround, but who surrounds who? We're getting awkward. Yeah, who's going to be out of position? Serral coming in from behind. Yeah, it does come in, but herO's main army moves in as well. It gets 1 Immortal. Gets 1. Just 1. Oof, yeah, just 1 Immortal. herO, he takes the fight. He overwhelms. herO was not surrounded. And Serral, it's going to be a tough hold. Yeah, it's going to be a tough hold. GG gets called. There's going to be no hold, and herO, he will take a 2-0 lead. Whew. GG. GG, well played. herO, he will take a 2-0 lead. Again, a very, very strong start here for herO. Winding it back, herO, he went for the early charge build, and we saw that he did pull Serral apart. Serral, he had 6 queens at his 4th base, and herO, he was able to catch 5 of them. 5 queens went down to the first wave, to the first push. Because of the low queen count, that meant that in the aftermath of that, there were no injects. There were no injects. There was the macro was limited, the macro was stifled. On top of that, because the queens went down, he could not stop the prism, so the prism harass continued in the main base and continued at the natural. The snowball started then and there when 5 queens were killed for almost nothing, and Serral had to commit to the all-in, and the all-in failed. The all-in did fail. herO, he had plenty of Immortals back home to defend, and herO is now 1 game away from claiming the series. Una más, papi, una más. One more game is all the hero needs. Remember, it's a best of 5. Best of 5. And do we end it in a 3-0 here? Game 3 is going to be on White Rabbit. Now remember, White Rabbit is one of the larger maps of the map pool. Quickly looking at the vetoes here. herO, he vetoed Mothership and Tourmaline. Interesting. Did veto Tourmaline. And here we go. Serral comeback is real. I feel like a little of this will come down to, I mean, remember, herO has not played standard, right? Like, I want to hammer that home. herO, he has not played standard. We have seen unique builds game 1 and game 2, but spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of White Rabbit, we have the Finnish Zerg player for Basilisk. It is a Serral, the best Zerg player in the world.
Serral.
The reigning world champion. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the red Protoss. It is a herO for T1.
herO.
The best Protoss player in the world. Again, the seeding is brutal. the seeding for the main event is insane. To have Serral and herO in the first round, like, really, guys? So brutal first round match. Best Protoss, best Zerg. But going back into our thoughts earlier, again, Serral has yet to play a standard game. Like, he wants to. Don't get me, he wants to play standard. He wants to get into the mid game, but he hasn't gotten there yet. Like, he just hasn't gotten there in a stable position. herO has been hyper aggressive, has been very in Serral's face, and has been able to punish him time and time again. Can Serral stabilize? Can he slow the game down? Can he get a handle on herO's aggression? And can he get into the mid game in a comfortable position? It's on Serral. Now, I will say that this is the best map for it, right? Welcome to White Rabbits. White Rabbits is one of the larger maps in the map pool, longer rush distance by ground. I will say that in the mid game, it can be very difficult to defend just because the map is so large. Rotating defensively between your 3rd, 4th, and 5th base can be very difficult. So defensive rotations can be difficult if you fail to keep up with the movement of your opponent's army. So we'll see if we get there, is the thing. We'll see if herO goes for early tech again. Since I 1 billion immortals back. It was a lot of immortals. True. Actually, answer my questions. It's all good. It's all good. Less than 3, man. Less than 3. As once again, it's going to be a Stargate opener out of herO, opening up Stargate to get into his own oracles, which will say that opener. Once again, just like last game, herO does open up Stalker first, so even though herO is playing standard, he will be keeping Serral in the dark. Remember, it is not standard to open up Stalker like this. Usually you want faster adepts to harass across the map, but herO has been foregoing early game harassment in favor of denying vision and keeping Serral guessing. And that is herO's biggest strength, is his diversity, right? herO, he is the most chaotic Protoss player out there. He's very diverse in his play. He's very unpredictable, and if you can't scout, then he can catch you with your pants down. He's done so twice already for Serral, to Serral. Now, because of what we've been seeing so far, we should be seeing a faster Roach Warren out of Serral. I'll be honest, based on how this series has played out, I wouldn't even be opposed to herO being more mid-game oriented. But do you see the rally on his Stargate? It looks like he's intentionally keeping the Oracle at home. It looks like he may choose to bank up Oracles. Yep. Oh, we'll see. So basically, because of that early Stalker that we did mention earlier, Serral doesn't know what's going on. And the longer this game goes on, without the Oracle being revealed, the more it looks like a Twilight Council opener instead, or a Robo, or a Forge. So again, herO, he's intentionally keeping the Oracles back at home, trying to make Serral believe it's something that it's not, and then he'll reveal his Oracles, and you can see that Serral, he's making 12 links. Serral, he's going to be going for a link flood at the 3rd base, hoping that there's no Oracles to defend, but they will be. This is a big commitment. All these links could have been drones. So Serral, he's setting himself behind economically for this harass. And if he doesn't get damage done, it's not going to be worth it. He does get us around. Ooh, He does get almost just around here, catching out one of the Adepts. Nicely done. Gets two. Two Adepts go down. The Oracles are revealed. And so far, this hasn't been worth it. It's some nice damage, though. Like, worst case scenario, Serral doesn't kill anything, so at least he got two Adepts. But he wants some more, and not quite able to commit. Going to be deflected. Two Oracles, they make their way across the map. 18 Lings go down. Again, they could have been drones. But the Queens are keeping up. Spores ready in the main base, and the Oracles don't get any counter damage, at least. From here, Serral's running up. Oh. A little bit of miscontrol there from herO, but he does snipe all three tumors. See in the chat, I've been caught with my pants down. Ah, no. True, baby, true. Who hasn't? See, you can't get caught with your pants down if they're never up. Just saying, just saying. That's how we be here at the CranKy Ducklings. No. As once again, herO is going into charge. 3 games. Every game so far in this series. I mean, he's gotten there in different ways, but every game so far we have had the charge arc on mid game. We do see that Serral, he's going into his Roach Warren, taking out a little bit faster in towards Hydras. This is a later Roach Warren, so later Roach speed. True. As herO gets into the third. Oof. He gets in for 6 drones. Oh my god. 8 drones go down. That is too much. 8 drones falling. Can we get 9? He can. 9 drone kills for 4 Adepts. Very nice trade for herO. He gets in. He gets damage done. The Oracles, they do poke into the main. Getting more workers. 12 in total. 12 drones for 4 Adepts. Serral is hurting. And you can see this Ling run by can't achieve anything either. There's a third Oracle back of him to defend. So the Lings do nothing. The defense is not good enough. And Serral, he is struggling. Now, what I will say is that Serral, he did decide to cut corners. So he's skipping +1 melee. He went for a later Evo chamber. And he's going into faster Hydra. So he's building up a Hydra-based composition. I'm just worried about the charge timing. I'm worried about the main push from herO. Serral, he needs some kind of buffer for the Hydras, whether it's Ling Bane or Roaches, he needs something. And we'll see if he can get there. As herO Storm is finishing up. herO supply blocks, fun fact. Ooh, and I mean, Serral, this is once again a Hail Mary play. Like, Serral knows he's behind. Serral knows he's in a bad position, so he's going for a massive Doom Drop. As we do get a revelation on the main army. You can see herO getting ready for the counterattack. Yeah, Stasis Trap's back at home. Storm is pushing forward. Remember, he has 6 High Templar full of Storm energy. And Serral should be headed for the main. Remember, he has the Doom Drop. He has all those Dropper Lords, which herO has not scouted. Zealots, they get across the map as Serral's out of position. Serral is out of position. Zealots, they get in. They trade well. Hydras are going down. Queens are going down. The main army pushes through. And Serral, he's in the Dropper Lords. That's why he's not here. That's why he has no army. We're about to pan over. The camera's about to pan over. But again, the Dropper Lords aren't able to achieve anything. Serral force back. Are the Dropper Lords full? No shot. Do they have units in them? We didn't see. We didn't see if he loaded up or not. But he must have loaded up some units, right? If so, he needs to come back home. Not the best storms out of herO, but he has 3 more High Templar. He has more storms available. And now committing in. He can't waste these storms. He cannot waste them. Decent storm in the middle line. Another storm on the Hydras. He's got, what, 2 storms left. Ooh, High Templar gets sniped. But another massive storm. And herO, if he gets another warp in, he can break through. herO, he needs more Zealots. There it is. Yeah, there's the warp in, but the warp in is late. Yeah, late warp in for herO. But this still might be enough. He's getting on top of the Hydras. There's no Lings, there's no Roaches, no buffer. The Immortals rallying in, and herO, We might just see a 3-0. We might just see that 3-0. Oh my god, clutch save of the Immortal. The clutch save. Here he saves both. He saves both Immortals. There's the recall back home. And on the one hand, does Serral die? No, but Serral's crippled. Serral, he lost his 4th. We're on an even base count. 3 base versus 3 base. herO's up in probes. herO, he has the better economy. herO's ahead economically. Serral is all in. They're the drop lords. They were empty, so I was worried that they had units within them, but no, they were empty. We're now loading up, and it's half a Doom drop. So we have half a Doom drop into the main. herO just recalled. So recalls on cooldown. Oh! Prism getting caught out. And does herO hold on to a warp in? Does he have a warp in available? He just warped in. Okay, he just warped in Zealots, so his warp ins are on cooldown. He just warped in, I want to say 5 Zealots, so he might still have some warp ins available. There we go, Ginger into the main. He's going for it. Here he tries to react, tries to respond. That's a lot of probes going down, getting 5 probe kills so far. And can he deny any attack? There's Storm to defend. Yeah, Storms in both locations. Storms in the main, Storms on the front lines. But here he only has 1 Storm left here on the front line, so... yeah, that's the only Storm he had. It was a good Storm. Jesus. More Storms are coming in. Remember, Serral is all in. He's got 63 workers. Serral, he will break the center expansion. Nice snipe. Ooh, but he cannot fight this head on. Serral, he cannot fight this head on. Sure, he gets the base, but at a cost, as he will lose most of these Hydras. If not, every single Hydra is going to go down. Massive loss for Serral. He can't afford this. He can't afford these losses. herO just wants to kill. Oof. Yeah, here he just wants to go for the kill. Nice kiting out of Serral. Here a couple of Zealots get tied up. But there's a rally. Yeah, there's a rally from herO. Force field! The force field! The force field on the ramp. He's crazy. Here he breaks the natural storm on the reinforcing Hydras. We have more storms available. The storms, they just keep connecting. The storms are crazy. And again, hero's done it. herO has done it. GG gets called, and herO, he will take the series 3-0. He'll advance on to the semi-finals. GG. You're the crowd. Let's go. GG, GG, well played. herO, the best Protoss player in the world. He 3-0'd Serral, the best Zerg player in the world. As we mentioned before, it is such a shame that I don't want to take away from the series. It's such a shame that this was in the first round. It's such a shame that this was in the quarterfinals. Like, this is a semifinals, if not finals match. herO versus Serral. Would love to see a best of 7. Would love to see a longer series here. So the seeding was brutal to have them face off in the first round, and GG, well played. herO, he does take the series 3-0. Congratulations to herO. Serral is out of the tournament, and it is crazy to think that Serral is already out, but that is how brutal the quarterfinals are. I mentioned it earlier. Clem versus Classic is also going to be a similar series where I can see Classic beating Clem. Like, he's done it plenty of times before. Like, that's another really rough first round match. Maru versus Raynor is another really rough first round match as well. Like, it's again, this tournament has the best players in the world. The best Terran, Protoss, and Zerg. They're all here. They're all here, Patton. GG, well played. herO takes it 3-0. Congratulations. Congratulations. Este here. Meanwhile, a big shout to Let Me Play With Your Kitties. God, yeah, thanks so much. Thank you so much for subscribing for 21 months in a row. Thank you. Happy, thank you. Do appreciate it. Do appreciate it. Seeing chat, Serral getting dominated. I should once again just go over the game itself a little bit here, but remember, herO was hyper aggressive this entire series. Not a single game did he play standard. We never saw a Stargate opener into Blink. We never saw it. We did see a couple of Stargate openers, but we always saw them go into charge instead, into a much more active and aggressive style, with herO constantly being in the face of Serral, getting drone kills, catching queens. But this was also a really rough game 3, because if you remember, Serral, he got blindsided. Serral, he got fed false information and he fell for it. How did the game start? With Serral falling behind, making, what was it, 18, sorry, he made up to 25, 28 lings, and he lost 18. He lost 18 lings at the start of the game. What happened? Remember, herO, he went for a Stalker opener. He opened up Stalker, and he banked up his oracles. He intentionally didn't reveal his oracles, making it look like he went for a Robo, Twilight Council, or Forge opener, which prompted Serral to make a massive wave of lings, which didn't achieve anything. He killed 2 Adepts for 18 Zerglings. And again, we mentioned that could have been drones. So early on, Serral was already playing from behind. Was already playing from behind just because he kind of, again, he made an assumption as to the build that herO was going for. The assumption was incorrect, so he fell behind that way. Then in the aftermath, we saw that we had the Zealot counterattack, the Orc harass, 12 more drones went down. GG. GG. And now we have the winners interview.
非常精彩的比赛。那么在开始之前，我看过你的一个采访，你说你做了大量的针对跟准备，在今天这第一场比赛，因为 Serral 是你的第一个对手，所以非常非常重要。那你有没有想过自己会3-0大比分的横扫 Serral 呢？
8 years of Serral nerfs catching up to him. Once again, I would reiterate that herO is literally the best Protoss player in the world. Or you could argue, or I would at least with confidence say that he has the best PvZ in the world, better than Classic. So like this is. Like what do you want? Like like literally no other player could achieve that against Serral, I would say. So I would speak less on Serral's poor performance because I don't think he did play poorly. I would say that herO played well, right? So I would put it that way instead. Because again, I should reiterate, Serral never got to play his game. Like Serral, he never got to play macro. He never got to play standard. he wanted to, but more often than not, Serral was forced into all-ins because of this earlier game aggression.
세랄 선수를 만나고 싶어 했는데 만날 때마다 좀 특별한 빌드를 많이 못 보여준 것 같아서.
Meanwhile, big shout to Pony Danza in the chat.
리스펙하는 만큼
Thank you so much for subscribing for 22 months. Thank you.
빌드를 준비해야겠다 생각했는데 그게 잘 먹힌 것 같습니다.
首先的话，其实每次遇到 Serral 都会输，所以我这次
I heard the
有
word
想到
build from
使
herO.
用一些特别的战术，然后以及Serral 的话是我非常崇拜的一名选手，所以这次我想给他展现一些特别的战术，所以就准备了这一套。
那你今天的这几把自己的一个进攻的 timing 点抓的都非常好，比如说像第一把就抓到了 Serral 跳地刺的一个 timing。我们想知道今天这几把的一个 timing 点你是如何去决策的？
이번 공격 타이밍을 되게 잘 잡았는데 첫 세트에서 가시지옥 올리는 거를 발견했잖아요. 그것도 혹시 그냥 특별하게 준비한 건가요?
He's being asked about
사실
timing attacks and all-ins.
경기하면서 가시지옥구를 보진 못했는데 뭔가 타이밍상 그때 가면 될 것 같아가지고 갔던 것 같습니다.
其实比赛的时候没有想过他会跳刺蛇，但是我觉得可能这个点去的话应该能看到，所以就发现了他跳刺蛇的一个 timing。
今天3把小herO的一个 timing 点，进攻 timing 都抓得非常的出色。那其实这一次小herO来到中国是带了他的妻子一起来的。刚刚你的妻子在后台非常紧张的看着你的比赛，你的每一场获胜她都在后台为你欢呼。你觉得今天自己表现得那么好，也是因为她给到了你力量吗？
이번에 아내분이랑 같이 왔다고 알고 있는데 아까 대기실에서도 열심히 응원하고 되게 긴장하셨거든요. 혹시 아내분이 힘을 받아서 오늘 좋은 성적 받은 걸까요?
갑자기 이상하네요 기분이. 일단은 최근에 해외 대회 항상 따라와 주면서 좀 대기하고 이런 게 굉장히 힘들 텐데 군말 안 하고 매니저처럼 되게 옆에서 챙겨주고 해가지고 정말 도움이 많이 되는 것 같고 덕분에 이길 수 있는 것 같습니다.
首先的话，就突然提到这一点有点小尴尬，但是怎么说呢？每次去海外比赛的时候，我的妻子都会陪着我，一直在照顾我的一些练习，所以我觉得可能她也是一个给了我一些力量。
那我们再次恭喜小herO旗开得胜，拿下了第1局比赛的胜利。再一次把掌声送给他，送给他今天精彩的表现。
I heard herO say manager, so I don't know if that's
好的，那我们的
it was just giving
精彩
shout
比赛还在
outs.
继续，让我们稍事休息一下，一会儿回来。
But regardless, GG, well played, congratulations. Again, herO does claim the series 3-0 dominant performance here by herO. Strong showing with a hyper-aggressive style. And again, we saw multiple times Serral did misread. He did misread herO when it came to how aggressive he was being. Multiple times, Serral, he was forced into all-ins, he was forced into more aggressive styles. And Serral, he never got to get into his own game. He never got to get into his own mid-game or even late game. He never got there. GG, well played. And again, that is where herO does excel. As the difference between herO and Classic, for example, I would say that Classic has the best late game PvZ in the world, but getting there is the hard part. herO, I would say, has the best mid game PvZ in the world, and even early game as well. Early game and mid game, that's typically where herO thrives. It's the late game where Classic has herO beat in PvZ. But otherwise, GG, well played. With that, congratulations. With that, we're going to be cutting to a break, and we'll be back in 10 minutes with what? With our next series with Cure versus Solar. Exclamation mark, be in the chat to have a look at the bracket yourselves. The bracket is live, the bracket is stacked, and we'll be getting to the rest of the bracket after this series. Remember, this is a 2-day event, but we'll see you guys soon after the break. See you soon. Bye. See you soon.